So, this video is about what one of the things I experienced today. But by today I mean on the trip I initially set out for. But I because of how important this subject is, I decided not to mix it with the other two I did, part one and part two. So this is more like its own separate video, which I'll be able to lay emphasis because kind of a subject on its own. So of course, like I said, by the time I got to where there was a blockage, long queue because of the flood and everything. So of course, immediately I stopped, I noticed the car was shaking, which a symptom of misfire as far as that V6 engine is concerned. So um so I waited for a while and decided, some people wanted to go use other routes to continue their journey. I said, I'm not gonna do that, especially with this school that has low ground clearance, start to experiment on the road I don't know about. So, but now two options. See if I can deal with that misfire right there by the roadside or drive it like that. So, and I said, okay, I need to know which cylinder, because once you come to this ES9J4S or ES9A engine, they have individual coils, ignition coils. So if there's a misfire, it's not all of them. It has to be either one or two or three or thereabouts, But from the way the mine was doing at that time, it was obvious it was just one cylinder, because it was mild. If it was more than one cylinder, it would have been so obvious before I even got to that place to know that the car was shaking, because immediately the car won't be able to move very well as I was driving. So it was a mild misfire. That's why the power was there without me noticing the misfire. So I needed to know which cylinder, because if it's one of the cylinders at the rear or bank 2, I wouldn't bother, I would just drive it like that. But if it's any cylinder in the front, I can deal with it right there, because I have all the tools with me. I have my carburetor cleaner. Like I said, three things, I can put that in the earlier video, three things can cause misfire or on these two engines, ES9J4S, ES9A. One is the spark plug. Now, it doesn't mean the spark plug is bad. Maybe I'll do a separate video on that, but the spark plug will do it. There's a way it can be rectified without replacing the spark plug. Two, the fuel injector, if it's partially blocked, yeah, it will cause it. In fact, that was the first thing that crossed my mind, because I assume maybe fuel I bought after a long drive, it has partially blocked it. So the fuel injector, now three ignition coils. So these three things. So I needed to know which cylinder so that I will know what to deal with. Or to know, so first thing I did, because I have my tools, I have my diagnostic tools, was to use a generic scan tool first, because it's much faster to use it than pulling out my PP2000. Those who owns PP2000 will understand. It takes minutes, it takes a while to boot, to put the interface. While the generic scan tool, it just seconds. So I was like, let me see if I can be able to see which cylinder that is doing that, so know whether it's worth to do the repairs right there or just keep drive it back like that. I quickly put the scan tool I have and plug it in. Scanned. Do you know what you show? You just show the catalyst, front catalyst threshold, aging, stuff like that. Those who use ES engines will understand. But in fact, these two engines as well, ES9J4, ES9A, once they are catalyst, once in a while there's a misfire, it will tell you that catalytic converter aging, below threshold, all those things. That was the only thing it showed, just one fault. But it was very obvious my car was misfiring. The engine was shaking, it was misfiring. It was obvious that one cylinder was not working. At least I have that technical knowledge to know how this engine behaves. One cylinder was not working, and even while we were waiting there, because the engine was, I didn't switch off the engine at that for a while I was waiting to figure out to make a decision to continue or go back. So at the point I could not see the check engine light started blinking. So which is also a symptom of misfire. So most cases anyway, there are sometimes an abused engine ECU or engine wiring harness can do that. But in my case, I know it was misfire. So it was obvious, yet it didn't tell me anything, show any cylinder that was causing the misfire. Which now made me to go and now pull my bag, bring out my laptop, bring out the interface, the cable, plug this one in, boot the system. I have to wait for it to boot. It takes a while. Using PP2000, you have to have patience. It's not something you rush. I know there are some, they say that it's not Bluetooth thing, but me, I'm still the old school type, connect it direct and run my thing. Whenever the other one can work, we deal with that. So I had to do it, pull that one out, and immediately I virtually did the scan the engine ECU, boom. Of course, if it still showed that catalyst, blah, 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 but then what I was looking for came up immediately right there. Permanent fault, cylinder 1, misfire, something like that. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because most people have so much faith in all these generic scan tools. For Peugeot cars, try as much as you can to avoid them. Even if you want to have it, let it just imagine if the only thing I had on me was that generic scan tool. And maybe it's so serious, it's whatever that is wrong with the car, maybe it's not even a misfire, it's something very more severe, and I needed to know what it is to even know how to go about it. And the scan tool I have is not telling me anything. Imagine what it would, because what you now do is, if you are not technical enough, what you could do now, you now start calling passers-by. They will not tell you, oh, there's one mechanic inside the village, inside one bush. He's a big Peugeot well. They will not come and start doing trial and error, complicating matters. But right there, immediately, showed me, says cylinder 1. Guess what? I went and opened the bonnet, removed the engine cover, looked at it, the cylinder 1. Immediately, I said, this is what I suspect. Because it was exactly that cylinder that has that black ignition coil, unlike the rest that has the white top ignition coil. And I know that black ignition coil is not the durable type. Not just durable, the reliable type. They can disappoint anytime. But because when I got the car, it was there. And it didn't show any failure. So I was like, why, let me leave it there since it's working. Why bother with it? However, but before I wanted to go on that leave, the previous night before, yesterday, I said, this coil is there. Even though, in fact, all the travel I've been doing, I've never bothered to go with ignition coil. I can't remember ever going with ignition coil because they never failed on me. So I never ever bothered, because all the ones in my D9, Z9, they were all that white top one, Delphi. So, but this time I needed to, just to be on the safe side. But eventually I removed it from where I kept it on my Zen, and I mistakenly left it inside my house instead of putting it in the car. So immediately I saw that, I went straight, opened the car, removed the engine cover, bam! It was that black one. So, the point is, generic scan tool will not be able to show you everything that your engine ECU has saved up or stored for you to scan and see, to know how to do your repairs. Or your ECU have saved up for you to put in to know what is wrong with your car, specifically. So generic scan tools, they are limited to, they don't have access to see everything. In fact, some even professional scan tools. Okay, let me even go further. See, I have 4 diagnostic tools, 4 scan tools. Let me be stressed, because when you say diagnostic tool, it can be anything. It mustn't necessarily be scan tool. I have 4 scan tools. Two are generic scan tools. One PP2000. Then the second one is also a professional scan, but it's not PP2. That one is what's it called? That Delphi 150E or something like that. But out of these 4, I used PP2000. What I now did was I kept one of the generic scan tool in the car. When you get some emergency, instead of pulling my scanner or anything, I'll plug it in with hope that maybe I'll be able to see something. You'll be able to show me something. In fact, to be honest, sometimes I only use it to clear the fault. If I know a fault on that vehicle, and I'm tired of pulling my laptop, maybe the battery is down, I just wanted to clear the ECU, clear the fault. I'll just pull that one because, like I said, it's much faster to use than working with the PP2000. So that's what I use. So the second second generic scan tool, I kept it in my house for years without using it. It was just sometime last year, I was doing something, I came across it, I was like, oh, so you are still here. I tried to use it, it was dead. So because of lack of use, it died off. I can't remember, maybe, I think I still left it there. Maybe one day I have to go and throw it away. I never bothered. I think I only used it the first time I bought it and put it back, So the Delphi on too, I package it and drop it inside my house. Not even with that. Because it's a professional scan tool, I decided to get it as well. Not only for me to realize that all PP2000 beats all of them when it comes to Peugeot. If you really want to know what's going on inside with your Peugeot, you can't beat PP2000. I know there are more expensive other professional scan tools and that, but I don't care how good they are. As far as Peugeot is concerned, it has to be PP2000. For me, that's why most of when people call, say, want me to help them diagnose their car remotely, or I scan my car, this is what I show. I don't care what that general scan tool is saying. If it's not PP2000, go and find PP2000, diagnose it, let me see the screenshot, or see. I trust this own definition, his own error code. Whatever it brings out, I'll work with it, not with, because sometimes the definition will differ from PP2000 and the generic scan tool. And that project definition is more important than that or that general one, even though they are different. PP2000 might be pointing at one particular sensor. Generic scan tool, you put it on that same car, it will point it at something else different. Even professional scan tool, you point at something else different. That's even if at all he was able to gain access. And even when you gain access to the vehicle system, you may not be able to pull out all the faults. It will only pull out of 5. You may only be able to view 2 out of the 5. But when you put PP2000, you will not see more. So PP2000 has its downside. The downside is installation. Once you can pass that stage, you've won it. It's the installation. It can be very, very frustrating, especially when you are for the first time. Unless you are an IT person, you have the hair, then it will be much easier. But the very first time, trust me, it's not that easy. It can be frustrating, So that's where the problem. Once you can pass that stage, I will advise, if you can, I always tell people, if you are into Peugeot and this is a brand you are not leaving anytime soon, I'm talking about their modern cars, you just need that PP2000. Unless you have someone that that have it, that you can always access to diagnose your car, scan your car with that PP2000. Then, yeah, probably you may not need to bother. But if you live in an environment where there's no technician there that has it, or I don't know, for whatever reason, you just have to. You can own a modern Peugeot car in any part of the world. Even if you are the only person driving Peugeot in that place, you can. As long as you have the right tool to be able to. Because first thing is to know what is wrong with the car. Before you now talk about who can change. Who can change it is not usually a big deal. Any mechanic can actually replace a part, even if it's not a specialist on that brand. All you need to do is just to look at it. As he's removing the old one, he can figure things out. Most of the things I know, it's not like I read any book or as I went to the service manual or repair manual or workshop manual or watch YouTube video to learn how to do. You figure shit out. As you're removing the one, you are looking at it, the way it was bolted, the way it comes out, and this and that. You know, that's so you can. Other mechanics can actually replace. There are some sensitive things that other people that are not specialized in that particular shouldn't go to. The worst case scenario, that's what I'm saying. If you are stranded, there's a mechanic that can be able to figure it out. Even timing, as sensitive as it is, as complex as it is, someone not trained at that can be. All you need to do, the old one, you can look at it, set it, as doing it, you may figure it out and put back a new one and to see match as the old one is. So it's not like but figuring out what is even wrong. So that's where PP2000 comes in, and it's very, very important. You know, I'm not doing this video it's so for you, because people like us who are technicians, telling everybody to own PP2000 is to our own detriment, because it means less job for me. Some of my colleagues who are also doing this technical work may not even like what I'm doing, because if everybody now who is listening to this video go and buy and start owning PP2000, it means I'm taking food out of their mouth. But of course, even when you own PP2000, you get a point, you still need an expert or someone who who understand it better than you do to actually take over and see. But at least you should be able to, so I would stop going around beating about the bush. Look at how mine went today. Directly, it went straight to that place. Tell me cylinder 1. Even though I tried another scan too, it was telling me catalyst. Okay, imagine now if I don't have that kind of knowledge I have today. I've had, that's what I mean. I don't have that technical knowledge. I just put a scanner. It now tell me catalyst. The first thing I'll do, my catalyst is blocked. I'll start looking for who yank out the catalyst, cut it open, remove everything. That's the thing, because the scanner is giving me wrong information. Not that what is there is wrong, but it's not what is causing the misfire. It was reacting to the misfire. The misfire made this thing to react and start saying catalyst. Anyone that owns this ES engine, Peugeot car ES, you know that once there's a misfire, you must get catalytic converter fault. Even some EW engine does that. They do the same thing. When the misfire comes, sometimes you see it on your display, catalytic converter fault. When once your car start to misfire, so if you can, I'm not saying everybody must own. Even if at least diagnosis, generally scan 2 is something. It's better than nothing. But still strive whenever you can to get it. Unless maybe you are not, your plan is not to use Peugeot for long. So probably the current one you are using now, once you are done with it, you move to another brand. Yeah, in that case, it may not make sense to invest in such tool. But if you have come to stay, you appreciate Peugeot and you do this, and you don't have anyone that can do it for you, or you can't afford people who are around you that can do it well for you, but you want to be able to diagnose your car properly, then man up and buy it and go to whatever tool stress doing the installation, because basically everybody now owns or has a laptop, so I can as well make use of it in diagnosing your vehicle. So that's what I want to point out. I know I didn't want to do it, take discuss it in the other two videos, because I wanted to do this as something separate so that people understand the need, because I experience it today, even though I've always known it. That's why I don't even bother using them. But today it just reminded me the need to have PP2000. You couldn't even save the day. It's common misfire. I mean, come on, a common misfire. A scan tool couldn't even dictate that the car was misfiring, even though it was obvious. The PP, come on. So please try. I don't know now. They used to be cheap, and now their prices are going up. So I know it would be easy to even buy one now. I'm just saying, it's an investment that's worth it if you can afford it, or whenever you can afford it. That's my point. Whenever you can, or at least let's say, even if you don't want to buy or you can't afford it. Whenever I want to diagnose your car, especially that something has to do with electric car, find someone that has PP2000. No matter how good the scanner is for that people, look for that PP. Insist. You have to let it be PP2000. Those who don't know it, you can go online. It make me easier than trying to explain it now. Go online, search for Peugeot Planet 2000 and learn what it means as far as Peugeot is concerned. So make sure you use it so you know you are not beating about the bush. PP2000 doesn't mean that you must tell you everything. There are some things on the car that, especially when you abuse the system, you may not even be able to dictate, so tell you exactly what is wrong, because the system is already confused. But it's a start. You always have something, even it may not be everything, but we have to tell you something that's okay, start from here. It will limit the diagnosis for you, the areas of concern or focus for you. Then you can do the rest. But there are some that it will just pure direct, like in this case. Okay, so that is the thing. Now, of course, in that video, the earlier video, I talked about how to diagnose, because it says in that one, so it didn't specifically say what exactly is the cause of the misfire. It just said the misfire is coming from the cylinder 1. Normally, if it's the ignition, if the injector is dead, it will tell you injector 1, blah, blah, blah. But if it's blocked, if the injector is partially blocked, all you need is flush it. It won't tell you it's injector. It still tell you just misfire. Cylinder is misfire. If it's the spark plug that is bad, it won't tell you it's the spark plug, because the spark plug does not have direct connection to the ECU. It will just simply tell you it's a spark plug that is causing that. Maybe I'll do I think I've done a separate video on how to deal with a spark plug that's causing misfire on a V6. What to do. Most time you don't need to replace it. Maybe I'll do another video on that, in case maybe that was long ago, so that these V6 users will know how to go about it. So the reason why I'm pointing this out, because a lot of people have been wasting money. I know for a fact, not that I think. I was even discussing with someone yesterday, is that someone that he has been wasting money buying every misfire. They are changing ignition coil on the ES9A engine. Every misfire, changing coil, wasting money. Basically, I know it could be this particular ignition coil that I talked about today that hardly fails. That all my other two V6s that I've never replaced, because they've never failed. After thousands and hundreds of thousands of kilometers, years, they are still there. Yet, every week or so, we are replacing the same ignition coil that is indestructible. Simply because of lack of information, or so please, there are ways to handle misfire on these ES engines. Please, when it comes to ES engine, especially ES9A and ES9J4S, I'm like a master, I'm a wizard on these engines, because I'm not just a repairer. I own and use them for years. If they are that difficult for me, I wouldn't have bothered to own up to 3 of them. So you need to understand, I've mastered that engine. So trust me, if I'm telling you the misfire is not a big deal, It is all you know is listen to how I've been talking about, so I can prevent them from happening. Even if it happen, it take a long while. So these three things, focus on it, on the ES9J4S, ES9A, how to go about. So if you say a cylinder misfire, don't rush and start changing the ignition coil. In my case, it was the coil. But look at how I started. I first started from the spark plug. Realized I removed the spark plug. It was obvious that there was nothing wrong with it. I put it back. The next one was the fuel injector. So I said, okay, I need to service it, but because the first three cylinders, the injectors are on the fuel rail, so I don't need to service only the cylinder one injector, so I can as well service the three. But when I bought it out, I did the servicing. There was no sign that it was actually blocked, but then I still went ahead and did the three. Started it. The issue was still there. So I've ruled out the other two. I know that you don't have to replace anything. You can see how I did it. Without replacing anything, okay, this is how you do, because in the process you will actually may get one of them will be the cause, and then it solves the problem. Because once it's coiled, there's nothing you can do. You have to change it. So you now go to the coil. But however, one thing I know for sure, if your ES9A ignition coil, or if the ignition coil fails, usually on ES engines, especially ES9A, ES9J4S, their ECU will tell you is the coil. If the coil is bad, it will tell you it's the coil. But in this case, I think the coil, because of the kind of brand it is, I don't even know. This is the first time I'm seeing that brand on that coil, with that brand. I know the brand, but I don't even know that they do that particular coil. So it's maybe the coil is not, the quality is so low that when it fails, the ECU will even be able to dictate that it is even the coil. Unlike the other ones, that it will tell you the coil is bad. So that's why I didn't even suspect, even though I knew that this coil might even be the issue. But I didn't just want to rush to remove it, because I know that particular coil brand always have problem, that black top. But I still need to rule out the one that I don't need to replace. So it was after I did the other two. I mean, it wasn't a funny thing, because I was under sun, everybody shouting because of the blockage, cars passing, it wasn't fun. But I was pieces, or maybe this, I was doing it right there. Every people were passing and watching, So I now had to say, okay, it's now the coil time. So with the confidence that, I knew I removed the coil and I put in the car, went to the booth, scattered everything, looking for it. It was very, very annoying that something I thought I removed intentionally to put in the car I was traveling with, I ended up not seeing it. And that was eventually what was causing it. So, you would have saw the problem right there. So the only thing now is I now have to waste fuel to bring it back. But it's just a fuel anyway. It's not like it burnt maybe 2,000-3,000 naira for extra. That's what I could say it burnt. Maybe more. So what? Even about 5,000. The war won't come to an end because of that 5,000 naira fuel wasted. Because a cylinder that runs on, once one cylinder is not running, the fuel consumption will double basically. Once a cylinder shuts down for whatever reason, it's not running well, ECU will increase fuel on the other cylinders to keep the engine running. So that's the thing. So I knew it was burning excessively because the one cylinder was down. So, but still, funny enough, the consumption wasn't even as bad as that, because I thought it would get to red zone by the time I get to town, Abuja town. But it was still actually up. In fact, I even had to drive to mechanic workshop, straight. Left the engine running for a while before I still drove back home. So I hope you have learned from this. So the purpose of this video is PP2000. It will help you run your diagnosis better, see everything that is fault. Don't rely on information, whatever you find on any other scan to plug in on a on a Peugeot car that is not PP2000. I'm not saying what you see there might be wrong, but it might not be the complete information that will solve the problem that you are seeing on that scan tool. There could be other hidden ones, or it could have its own definition different from that of Peugeot. And if you follow the definition of the generic scan tool, it will mislead you. Go and start changing part that is not actually faulty. So because what you're seeing on this screen is scan report of PP2000 on one particular car I did diagnose how many days ago. So I hope this video helps.